Hello and welcome everyone. It is that time of the year when the entire country sits back, relaxes and enjoys the summer vacation, of course with Tata IPL 2022. This year's IPL is going to be very special, and I'm not just saying it for the sake of saying it, but there are a few reasons why I say so. Firstly, it's the 15th edition of the cash-rich tournament. Of course, क्योंकि 15 number एक milestone की तरह लगता है ना, then I'm pretty sure it's special. And secondly, because we've got two new teams joining as permanent teams in the Tata IPL 2022. अभी अगर आपको याद होगा तो 10 साल पहले भी दो नई टीम्स आई थी, पुणे वॉरियर्स इंडिया और कोची डिस्कस किया था। शायद कुछ बदले या ना बदले, पर 10 साल के बाद नाम तो जरूर बहुत अच्छे हो गए टीम्स के, लाइक गुजरात टाइटंस और Lucknow Super Giants, जो कि ठीक है। Before the start of every season, we as fans have some expectation from the entire season. Now, considering that this season particularly is going to be a long one, हम में से बहुत सारे लोगों ने कुछ चीजें anticipate कर ली है. Things we are going to look forward to while watching matches in the Tata IPL 2022. Here is the small list of a few things which I am assuming that most of you would be looking forward to. Number 1, Virat Kohli. Virat, the run machine Kohli. Virat, leave IPL, leave T20 cricket. Virat Kohli is out and out cricketing legend. 10,000 plus ODI runs, 8,000 plus test runs, 5,000 plus IPL runs, 100 plus test matches. I mean, what more do you ask? Would you ask for from a player of any quality? But last couple of years have been a little mediocre for Virat Kohli. I mean, not considering the rest of the people, the rest of the players around the world, but considering or comparing him to his own standards. उनका जो average है वो हुआ करता था 50 के above in all the three formats, and now it has come down to 49.9, and that has caused havoc. Just imagine ये player कितना बड़ा होगा जिसका average 49 पे होके लोग कहते कि form हो रहा है. Now, Tata IPL 2022 is a great opportunity for Virat Kohli for a couple of reasons. Firstly, he's not a captain anymore. Faf du Plessis will take over the captaincy charge for the Royal Challengers Bangalore, which means Virat Kohli will play just as a player. Something we are not really, we're not really accustomed to seeing, but something that would actually help Virat Kohli get into his own element right before ICC World T20 later this year. And secondly, he's also let go of the captaincy duty of the Indian national team. He's not the Test captain anymore, he's not the ODI or the T20 captain anymore. So Virat Kohli back as just a specialist batsman would be something that most of you would be looking forward to. Number 2, two new teams. Now IPL 2022 has got two new teams in Gujarat Titans and Lucknow Super Giants. जब इनकी announcement हुई, बहुत सारा एक buzz था इन दोनों के around, especially during the retention, और इनकी retention भी काफी interesting थी. But on one side, Lucknow Super Giants went with these rookie players in Ravi Bishnoi, a very strong all-rounder in Marcus Stoinis and of course KL Rahul. Gujarat Titans went with proper T20 superstars in Hardik Pandya, Rashid Khan and upcoming talent Shubman Gill. इनके सीजन स्टार्ट होने से पहले दो प्लेयर्स इंजर्ड हो गए, जो कि बाहर हो गए उसकी वजह से, जेसन रॉय एंड मार्क वुड. But one of the major worries for both these seasons is firstly the fact that they have new captains, two unproven entities. Of course, KL Rahul has captained one entire season before, but that's been a little forgettable experience. I'm pretty sure he'd want to start all anew. And Hardik Pandya as a captain is something that everyone is looking forward to. Which brings me to the third point, that is young Indian captains. अभी इस साल हमारे पास है 10 नई टीम, दो नई टीम्स जो कि पूरे टूर्नामेंट को बनाते हैं 10 टीम का एक पूरा हिस्सा, which has most of the teams with newer captains. We have the likes of Rishabh Pant, Shreyas Iyer, Hardik Pandya, and all these new Sanju Samson, all these new talents who may not find their place in the Indian starting 11 for the World T20. Most probably, they will be the captains of their respective IPL teams. And this speaks volumes about young talent in India at the moment. How will these young captains fare? It's not only important to view this from the IPL's perspective, but it is also important to know and gauge this if you are considering the young captains taking over India's team. Because Rohit Sharma is already 34, Virat Kohli has let go of his captaincy duties. Who will take India forward in all the three formats is the question most of us are asking. And this IPL might actually be the answer to that. Rohit Sharma. Now, Rohit Sharma's case is pretty interesting. He's one of the highest run getters in all the seasons of IPL, but last few seasons he's not really been consistent with his bat. Of course, as a captain, he's been amazing and probably uncomparable to anyone else at the moment. But as a batsman, Mumbai Indians would be wanting more from him. How would Rohit Sharma fare this time around is an interesting case. And secondly, for all the non-Mumbai Indians but Indian fans, it is very important to see how Rohit Sharma, the captain, goes ahead. Because we have ICC T20 World Cup coming in October, which will take place in Australia. How Rohit Sharma will go ahead in that particular tournament, a lot of it will be seen as a teaser in IPL 2022. Chennai Super Kings. The defending champions Chennai Super Kings are perhaps the greatest brand equity in all around the world as far as T20 teams are concerned. Now, there are a couple of points that are really interesting to know about Chennai Super Kings. Firstly, it will be their first season they'll be playing without Suresh Raina. Suresh Raina's form saw a dip in last couple of seasons. He's not been a part of the domestic teams, rather he's not chosen to play domestic cricket for a while, and that is probably the reason Chennai Super Kings is moving ahead of Suresh Raina. And will this be the last season for captain MS Dhoni? 2020 में जब चेन्नई सुपर किंग्स ने एक काफी मीडियोकर परफॉर्मेंस दिया तो काफी सारे लोगों ने क्वेश्चन पूछा कि will MS Dhoni retire after this? And the answer to this was
definitely not.
And last year, 2021, Chennai Super Kings became champions. Will this be the last year of Chennai Super Kings captain cool MS Dhoni? ये बहुत सारी चीजों पे डिपेंड करता है. डिपेंड करता है कि क्या वो जीतते हैं इस बार, और ये डिपेंड करता है कि क्या अगली साल IPL के मैचेस चेन्नई में हो सकते हैं. Of course, Chennai crowd would love to see off their captain cool MS Dhoni. Young Indian players to look forward to. As I've stated before already, that October 2022 will see the ICC T20 World Cup being played in Australia. और उससे पहले जो IPL हो रहा है, it is a great opportunity for all the young Indian players to show their talents and to impress the senior players playing all around the teams. The likes of Avish Khan, T. Natarajan, Prithvi Shaw, Ruturaj Gaikwad, Shubman Gill, R. Sai Kishore, all of these players who probably do not make it to the top 15 of the country at the moment as far as T20 is concerned would be itching to go ahead. Keep a watch, keep an eye on them. They are probably the players who will give their best performances in the last few years. Sunrisers Hyderabad. Now I know Sunrisers Hyderabad is perhaps not the most talked about team, but here's something interesting about SRH. Firstly, there are very non-cricketing reasons which seem to be affecting the team's performance. We saw David Warner being let go of last year, and then how he had an amazing T20 World Cup which happened in UAE last year around. But the thing with Sunrisers Hyderabad this time around is that they've been able to get on board a very good team, as compared to how it was in the last few years. Although they do not have the likes of David Warner and Rashid Khan, the team has done decently well at the auctions. But one important thing to understand here is that are the non-cricketing reasons going to affect their performances on field? That will be the question to ask for. Because Simon Katic left the team just after the auctions. He said that the team did not follow the plan in going into the auction. So how much of these administrative reasons are affecting the team's performance on the field is something that every IPL fan will be looking forward to. Thank you, and follow NewsHamster for more content like this.